trials, Aloy.
Hi guys, welcome to another Horizon Zero Dawn video, and in this one I'm going to be showcasing two new machine enemy types, the Grazers and Corruptors, and I'm also going to be showing some combat with humans. This is just a small clip to show a village, just the graphics, because the game keeps awing me in every moment, really. So this is in a main mission. I've trimmed out all the cutscenes and I would try to limit the clip sizes in terms of what I show, just so I don't spoil too much of the story. But this was pure combat. These are grazers. They're basically like animals that try to gather resources. The easiest way to take them down is to shoot the blaze canisters on their back, but I had fire arrows, but I think I didn't have enough materials to use them, so instead I just kept shooting them. Eventually I got tired of the damage I was doing, so I took out my tripcaster, set up a shock trap, and then, you know, shocked a couple of them, and then went in and finished them with melee. So in this clip we start taking a look at human enemies. Now, humans, unlike the machine enemies, are actually pretty weak in terms of their AI. Like, they're really bad. They will either stay back and just keep shooting arrows, or they will come run at you, you know, while you're shooting and pelting them with ammo. So, I don't know. They dodge once in a while, but only like these special enemy types dodge them. Like these grunts, you can just sneak up to them and stealth kill them, or you can just shoot an arrow to the head, use concentration, which is an ability you can buy. Yeah, see, I slow down time pretty much, and it's like a focus ability, so you can just focus in on them and shoot them for the kill. This clip, it shows the first time you fight humans, so I was just testing out what works and what doesn't work. Arrows to the head obviously works. For me, a headshot should be a one-hit kill on any human enemy. To me, that just makes sense, but this is an RPG, so they have inflatable health, or inflated health. So what I do is, you know, they take 1 to 2 shots to the head sometimes. Once in a while they do block, but I don't know, most of the times they don't, which is kind of, there's some dissonance with that effect here. You can melee them, use quick attacks. Heavy attacks just take way too long. By the time you do a heavy attack, they will come back and hit you and interrupt your move. So that's pretty much it. I'll probably show more human enemies later in the game, the different types actually. Here I just wanted to show some rain effects. Like, this was really impressive. I was just doing a side mission, and I'm just like, wow, just look at the effects. There's the foliage, the amount of detail on the foliage, and the way they sway, they move. It really impressed me. I just had to include it. So now we move on to the Corruptor. I'd call this a mini boss fight, because at this point your weapons are really like low level, and the Corruptor is pretty much a higher level than I was, and it took a lot of arrows to take it down. Now, most of the time when you meet a new enemy, you can use your focus to scan them. I already had scanned the Strider enemies that you've seen here. I've already showed them earlier how to take them down. You shoot their blaze canisters and stuff like that, shoot them in the face. So I go ahead and I scan the Corruptor, but I made a huge mistake, because I should have, if you go to your options, not options, but you hit your touchpad, there'll be something called a notebook menu on the side, on the right side. If you go there, you can check a catalog of all the enemies. Now, it shows weak points on every single machine enemy in the game. So I didn't start using this until later in the game, but it's really useful, because that's the best way to take them down. For example, this enemy is really weak to fire. Like, it is the best way to take it down. So ideally you want to be shooting fire arrows at its body, not at where I'm shooting, which is the rocket pods. You see, every enemy or every weak point has a different way to take it down. For example, its body is weak to fire, but its pods are weak to tear damage, so I would need a specific arrow, like a hardpoint arrow, or a tear blast arrow. The best way to take these machine components down is to use a tear blast arrow. Now, you need a different bow. There are, I think, 3 to 4 different types of bow that you can get in the game. The one you want to use for the tear blast arrow is called the sharp shot bow. What the tear blast does is the moment it hits any of those kind of components that can come off, that can be dislodged from an enemy's body, it sends a shockwave or a pulse which instantly detaches these limbs, these detachable sections of the enemy. That is the best way to take this enemy down. I didn't have access to this weapon, so I didn't understand why I wasn't taking it down, because I've seen E3 videos of this enemy, the Corruptor, and I know for a fact you can take them down. I just didn't know what I needed to take it down. I should have checked the notebook and read about it, but I didn't. That was my mistake. But its body is weak to fire, so this fight would have been going much faster, but instead of aiming for the rocket pods, I just aimed for the body and shot it with fire arrows. Like, I just repeatedly kept pressing R2 instead of, going into focus. But, you live and learn. This was the first time I fought the enemy. I didn't really understand what was going on. And once I beat it, I take a look at the notebook and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Like, I could have this fight would have been like half the time if I actually just took 1 second to look at that notebook. So, yeah, not the best example of a fight. I mean, there will be more fights where I taste like 2 or 3 corruptors at a time. I will post those up to show a better way of taking them down. Like, I had the Tripcaster. It only does shock, so it's not like I could do much at this point because it's not weak to shock. One thing I did learn is that all corrupted enemies are weak to fire. There are a few that are weak to freeze that I come across. That's pretty much it. But the video is almost going to come to an end. There's not much to talk about in this fight except, dodge. And either if you have the tear blast arrows, use it, or just aim at its body with fire arrows. And then once it's on fire, it'll be burning. At that point, you can use a different arrow to hit its body, and it will actually do more damage when they actually have a status effect on them that they're weak to. But other than that, the next video, I don't want to put videos that focus on like a let's play. My videos mostly focus on boss fights, cool things that happen in the game, so I'll just put them into these small gameplay clips. So don't expect me to do a let's play, guys. That's not what I do. I mostly show fights, so I will show all the enemy types. Fights that went really quickly, fights that took a long time, like, you get the gist of it. But the next video should be coming up soon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It'll go down in about 1 or 2 more hits. Anyways, guys, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.